Good morning, everyone. As a prelude this morning, I'd like to sing a song for you that was written by Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary. It's called Light One Candle. This song is actually in your hymn books, your gray hymn book number 221. If you want to open your hymn book and follow along and sing along with me on the chorus if you would like. Number 221. You'll get an idea how it goes. This is a song that commemorates several things. It is a commemoration of our friends, our Jewish friends next door, and the Maccabees who held out against oppression for a very long time, and is a source for the festival of Hanukkah, the lighting of the candles. And we light one candle for the children. We light one candle for love, and we light one candle for peace. Light one candle for the Maccabee children, with thanks their light didn't die. Light one candle for the pain they endured when their right to exist was denied. Light one candle for the terrible sacrifice justice and freedom demand. Light one candle for the wisdom to know when peacemakers' time is at hand. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Light one candle for the strength that we need to never become our own foe. And light one candle for those who are suffering pain we learned long ago. Light one candle for all we believe in. Let anger never tear us apart. And light one candle to bind us together with peace as the song in our heart. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. And what is the memory that's valued so highly that we keep it alive in the flame? What's the commitment for those who have died? We cry out that they not die in vain. We have come this far, always believing that judgment will somehow prevail. This is the burden, this is the promise, and this is why we not fail. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out, it's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't let for so many years. Don't let the light go out, let it shine through our love and our tears.
This is a new day. This is a new day full of sound and light, fresh winter light, and expectation. This day has been waiting for you. It's been waiting especially for you, to embrace you, to guide you. This day has been waiting with open arms, just for you. Shine. This is the day we have been given. Let's not waste it. Come now and let us worship together. And please rise. 1063 in a Teal hymn.
Children of the earth, we have come to sing to each other, sister and brother, songs of our mother. Children of the earth, autumn soon will breathe her last breath, quick will her death bears witness to winter's birth. Children of the earth, and you feel the air getting cold as darkness takes hold and sleep covers mother. Children of the earth, we have come to sit in the darkness, breathe in the silence, think of our mother.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Good, good. It's brisk, it's sunny. What could be better? I'm glad you could be with us this morning. It's a very special service celebrating the winter solstice. A couple announcements. Join us if you don't have any plans, 5 p.m. on Christmas Eve. It's going to be a beautiful, music-filled service with a special performance by Elizabeth White.
Oh, for God's sake.
We have Beth Eder, a pianist who plays with the Erie Philharmonic, Eric Ramos, violinist, Jeff Krause, soloist Tim Raridan.
5
We have
p.m.
3
Christmas
choral
Eve.
pieces.
Catch that one?
It's going to be breathtakingly beautiful. So Andy Crabb on bass, thank you, in the back. So it's going to be gorgeous. 5 p.m. We'll be here with candles ready for you. Come ready for some light and some beauty. And then Ohio Can is looking for hats and gloves. There is a place for donations downstairs. So if you have some gloves, especially, Kathleen is saying this, gloves. So if you have some gloves, they could use it. That would be really helpful. I now would love to invite, my eyes are scanning, I see red, I see 2 red, Ellen Satry for our chalice lighting.
We have many, many ways of looking at hope, light, darkness, beginnings, endings in this very rich season of the year. And when it's cold, and when it's dark, not like now, but later, we tend to gather ourselves close to home, to the sources of warmth and the closeness of people and the familiar. We ponder what we hope for in the coming light and the new year. And during these times, we also give much to one another. Gifts, greetings, well wishes for health, joy, and peace. And all of that is good. For this morning's chalice lighting, I've been thinking about people much further away, whom I don't even know. When we gather downstairs and have our coffee hour together, most of us will hold a warm cup of hot coffee or tea to fuel all of our conversations. Remember, that coffee or tea was grown and harvested just by those people I was referring to, people far away whom we don't even know. So think of this. Those farmers in those distant lands also have hopes for the new year. I suspect that those farmers hope for many of the same things that we do: health, happiness, safety, and the means to provide a good life for themselves and their families. Now, it so happens that we, many miles or time zones away, can actually help those farmers achieve their hopes. So here's my point. Our congregation has participated for decades with supporting Equal Exchange, which is a fair trade worker-owned company, and our source for that coffee and tea that we'll enjoy in a while. UUYO always serves fair trade coffee, and the purchase of that coffee goes to help those farmers. You, as individuals, can also participate by purchasing bags of coffee or boxes of tea to use in your own homes. You can be certain then that your spending choices for these products can go in fairness to support those farmers who depend on us to be their customers so that they can achieve their hopes. So visit us at the coffee cart, which is downstairs. Ask me how fair trade is different from conventional commodity trading. I won't give a sermon on that right now. But I light this chalice in the spirit of hope and of helping to fulfill the hopes of everyone around us. And now you may rise and greet your neighbors near you.
Some of you might remember back in August we did a story called Harnessing the Sun, and we called it a little lady story because it was about my dog Lady. So today I bring you another little lady story. It is called Little Lady and the Longest Night. Lady lived with her mom and Jimmy in the big house with the big yard she loved to zoom across. But lately, the yard didn't feel quite the same. The air was cooler, the wind nipped at her nose, and the sun seemed to be taking forever to wake up every morning. One chilly afternoon, Lady stood by the door, leash in her mouth, ready for her usual walk. Mom peeked outside and shivered. "Not today, little lady. It's too cold and the wind's harsh." Lady dropped her leash with a sigh and curled up on her blanket. She didn't understand why everything felt darker or shorter or quieter. Jimmy sat beside her, tucking a blanket around them both. "I feel a little sad in winter, too," he whispered. "But Mom says the sun always comes back. We just have to keep hope in our hearts." Just then, Dave arrived, brushing snow off his coat. "Hey, team," he said. "I came to check the solar panels. On days like this, they don't get much sun at all." "See, little lady," he said, kneeling beside her, "in the winter, the days get shorter, the sun doesn't shine as long, and sometimes the panels don't have enough light." Jimmy nodded. "Kind of like how we don't get enough light either. That's why we feel sleepy or sad sometimes. But the solstice means brighter days are coming. It all leads up to a very special day," Mom said, "the winter solstice." "The solstice is the shortest day and longest night of the year," Jimmy said. "Afterward, the sun slowly returns. The whole world holds on to hope until it shines again." That evening, Mom brought out a special box. Inside were candles, pine branches, dried oranges, and a tiny wooden sun. "We have our winter solstice ritual tonight," Mom said. "Lady, you're a part of it too." Everyone went outside to the backyard. The snow had stopped, and the moon shone clear. On the table that Mom had set up earlier, Jimmy placed pine branches in a circle. Dave held the little wooden sun. Mom lit the candles. "These candles remind us that even in the darkest time, light returns," Mom said. "Hope is the spark that helps us wait for it." Lady stepped forward and placed her squeaky yellow ball inside the circle. Her family laughed softly. "I think Lady is offering her own sun," Dave said. "We're going to get through winter together," Jimmy whispered into Lady's fur. "Even if the days are dim, even if we get sad sometimes, there's always hope." The next morning, something felt different. The sky was still pale, but brighter. Jimmy raced into the kitchen where Dave was helping Mom cook breakfast. "Today is 1 minute longer than yesterday." After breakfast, there was a surprise for Lady. "Come on, little lady," Mom said. "The sun is growing again. Let's take a short walk to welcome it." Outside, the sunlight glimmered faintly through the trees. The yard still felt cold, but not quite as heavy. Lady trotted proudly beside her family, tail held high. And from that day on, even when the walks were short and the days were dim, Lady remembered the light always finds hope and its way back, and so does hope. Coming soon, Lady and the Christmas presents. That'll be next year. So just to remind you, gloves. It's one of the things I hate most about the cold is when I have to walk Lady and my hands are freezing because I can't use mittens to hold the leash. She's very strong. So gloves, gloves, gloves. Thank you so much. And I'd like to invite the children up to do the covenant and the singing out. Okay, so the covenant is in your order of service.
spirit of this church and service its law. This is our great covenant. Dwell together in peace. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may. Go now in peace. Go now in peace. May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. We pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks and the blessing of abundance, and to support the community in a tangible way. This month, our offering goes to the Minister's Discretionary Fund. This fund supports friends, members, and community members in a variety of ways, including assistance with temporary housing, help with bills, and support for programming that benefits the community. We will now receive the offering that supports the life of our church, the Mahoning Valley, and our wider world.
Deep in the darkest winter night, here with my candle burning, cozy and warm inside the light. Now that the year is turning, what does the future hold in store? Where has our journey brought us? How can we learn from what's gone before? What has experience taught us? Heart of creation, lover of shadow and light, sing us a song of a billion stars, silently all through the night. Friendship will light the darkest hours. True love will hold the vision. Peace and goodwill on earth is ours. Let it be our decision. Heart of creation, lover of shadow and light, sing us a song of a billion stars, silently all through the night. Deep in the darkest winter night, here with my candle burning, cozy and warm inside the light. Now that the year is turning, feel how the year is turning.
Now let us meditate in silence.
Our reading this morning is Those Winter Sundays by Robert Hayden. Sundays, too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue-black cold. Then, with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather made, banked fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call. And slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house. Speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well, what did I know? What did I know of love's austere and lonely offices?
This is a song by Don McLean. I found the lyric to this song to be very introspective. Just found myself in a lot of these lyrics, and see if you do too. I've got nothing on my mind, nothing to remember, nothing to forget. I've got nothing to regret. But I'm all tied up on the inside. No one knows quite what I've got. And I know that on the outside, what I used to be, I'm not anymore. You know, I've heard about people like me, but I never made the connection. They walk one road to set them free and find they've gone the wrong direction. But there's no need for turning back, 'cause all roads lead to where I stand. And I believe I'll walk them all, no matter what I may have planned. Can you remember who I was? Can you still feel it? Can you find my pain? Can you heal it? Then lay your hands upon me now. Cast this darkness from my soul. You alone can light my way. You alone can make me whole once again. We've walked both sides of every street, through all kinds of windy weather, but that was never our defeat. As long as we could walk together, so there's no need to turning back, 'cause all roads lead to where we stand. And I believe we'll walk them all, no matter what we may have planned.
Good morning. As I'm about to talk about the darkest, longest night of the year, I just wanted to recognize that I have seen many of you doing this. It's pretty bright, and if it's hitting your face, it's pretty warm too, so just go outside or wait long enough and it will be cold and dark. I have been sitting with Hayden and his line about love's austere and lonely offices, because it is the still and quiet part of the year. The temperature drops, the days shorten, the birds no longer greet one another and the rest of the world with their dawn chorus. Instead, the threshold of seasons we stand out today and celebrated last night is about how still and quiet the sun is. And indeed, the word solstice means the sun, sol, standing still, stit. It is the time of year when I want someone to light a fire for me. I remember the first solstice celebration I participated in here. It was 2018, maybe 17. As we loaded up with pine wood and our rusting steel brazier and fire implements, it started to rain. And while we hoped it would abate while we drove here, the rain got heavier and heavier. It was still possible to have a fire, though, and we set up the brazier right out there. And by the time we were done setting the brazier up, it was a downpour. And it stayed that way the rest of the night. But the celebration inside was warm. Was this the winter solstice party where we had a play about day and night fighting? Or was it the one with the play about the maid, the matron, and the crone? Or the holly queen fighting the oak queen to see who gets to hold on to their leaves the longest? Or Thor fighting Thanos? I guess we have been celebrating the solar holiday so long that I don't remember from one year to another. The memories of them have all mixed together. But the memories of last night's celebration are still fresh, and it was great. So many new faces, so many great snacks and drinks, so many candles, so many stacks of brown paper and string, smoky wood, and winter greens. So thank you for everybody who came and participated and contributed, and it was wonderful. I look forward to those. Last night was needed. And though we have celebrated the solstice here for at least 6 or 7 years, or whatever the math is, I have not always done that myself. It was years after I started spending most of my waking private time in the spring, summer, and fall outdoors that I started to notice my sense of the year had been warped and something else undergirded our weather and our seasons than what I had learned when I was growing up. When I was a child in school, the rhythms of the school year dictated when fall fell, the very end of August, which seems absurd to me now, and kind of just graded slowly into winter first with the Canfield Fair, and then Halloween, Thanksgiving. By that point, it definitely had to be winter because it was so dark, and the next holiday was Christmas, and that was definitely a winter holiday. It's also when we had winter break. Then winter then seemed to run sometime until March, when the light finally lasted longer. We got to adjust our clocks manually back then. And by Easter, it was definitely spring, right? I had a break then too, during school. So when school let out in early June, that's when summer was. And that's when, because summer break started, and that was by definition my summer. Then fall at the end of August again, over and over and over again. After I graduated, public school holidays or bookmarks or signposts in the calendar went away, and winter seemed to run from about Halloween until Easter. So something like October 31st to April 1st. This also coincided to when I had the winter blues, better called seasonal affective disorder. What a depressing view of winter, literally drags. That's 6 months of winter. Well, my exposure at that point to the solstice and the equinoxes was reading the Farmer's Almanac anytime I was standing at a magazine rack waiting to check out. How quaint and old-timey an equinox sounded, or a solstice, and sounded like Werther's Originals candy or Ben Franklin and a key on a kite. I just felt no connection to it. So I thought the almanac and the seasons and paying attention to these things were for old gardeners, something like planting seeds under strangely named full moons. But about 8 or 9 years ago, I started to spend more time outdoors and reading about the things that I saw that didn't make sense to me right away, like the leaves on the trees turning colors and falling, and bees crawling around in those fallen leaves, looking for a place to go to sleep for the winter. How did the trees and bees know to do these things? And the short version of this is the day length. So I started to see that the trees and the bees and myself and my mood and my reaction to the day length were all tied together somehow. So closer looks at almanacs, or probably at this point Wikipedia. I realized that there were 2 points of the year where the days were of equal length, the equinoxes, and the 2 days where the day or night was at its longest, and that would be the solstices, when the sun stood still. And at some point, I think it was an equinox or solstice that had a full moon, it seemed like kind of a big deal. How often does that happen? Why aren't we celebrating that? Why didn't the news say anything about it? It seemed fundamental in a way, and it seemed like I was missing something by not celebrating it. And isn't this the kind of thing that perhaps people trying to connect to the wider world around them and in nature's patterns might be interested in too? So after conversations happened, it did seem to be the case that there was interest. One thing I know about being a Unitarian Universalist is that there are as many reasons or traditions or pathways to celebrate something as there are individual Unitarian Universalists. But the common thing that binds us is that we are deeply interconnected and are rethinking and re-realizing ourselves in that interconnection all the time. We strive to recognize ourselves as a part of something much, much greater than ourselves. We also strive to bolster one another, especially those who need an ear or a hand or a joke or a fire or a snack when the days have become so short and light so rare. We strive to let go of things that don't serve us or our work to make a better world, just as we strive to set intentions for ourselves. We strive to have a good time when it may not be easy to do. I know I look forward to our solar holidays more and more each year, and I also look forward to hearing why people like to celebrate them themselves. One reason I repeatedly hear most years is that it is a newer kind of holiday without baggage, not connected to other traditions that we may have been given and not chosen. Another story, an anecdote that I have heard and like to tell is that it makes us feel connected to something so much greater than ourselves because the dinosaurs used to have equinoxes and solstices. Whether they had churches or celebrations or somebody reading a poem at a fire, birds are amazing, but I'm not sure about that. But they experienced them, whether they recognized it or not. Those things happened mathematically. The sun stood still for the longest part, twice a year, and the day and night were equal twice a year. The tides rolling in and out, they were part of natural cycles over and over again. This has been going on since, well, with the sun for however old the earth is, and for the tides probably as old as the moon is. I understand it is not as old as the earth. So these short days and cold mornings are a chance for us to seek our connectedness with the greater world, and also a chance to seek the truth and love and help one another. Like Hayden said in his poem, his father lighting a fire for them in the lonely and austere offices of love. So for me, that is the solstice. The meaning of the solstice is I want somebody to light a fire for me. So tend to offer what we want most to others. It is a great opportunity to feel connected with other people in the natural world at the same time. Deep connection that we often seek, and I know that I do. So, thank you.
Sometimes I have to talk to people like Gary to understand things. So I spoke with Gary, who has a natural affinity with the wonders of the earth. I've spoken with friends who track and honor the moon cycles. And I'm going to give you some snippets from what I heard, okay? So one friend said, when we honor something, we connect to it. So I asked people why they honor the winter solstice. Here are a few things they said which resonate with me. One person said that the sunlight returns to us incrementally, where we receive about 25 seconds more sunlight each day, then a whole minute, and then 2 minutes. He said most people will only notice this shift in a few months, when it's much more obvious that we have more sunlight and people's moods are lifted. But for him, the power was noticing the very incremental, gradual change when it is mostly invisible to most people. That made me think of hope. How sometimes, as a community, hope only feels real during large, visible moments. When a new law is passed, when cruelty is stopped, when justice finally seems to catch up with love. Those are the big moments, which makes it clear we're in a cycle of change, and we can change for the better. But personally, I'm becoming more interested in a few more seconds of sunlight. A shift that is gradual and sure and coming, but which most people are largely unaware of. For me, this year, the winter solstice is about being steadfast. Nature is gradual and sure in her journey. And if we get out of the way long enough, we can appreciate that. Another thing that was shared with me, which is something I forgot about, kind of embarrassing, but I did, is that while we're celebrating the winter solstice here in Youngstown, Ohio, I know we have people online, but we're in Ohio, Youngstown, in case you forgot. So we're celebrating the winter solstice, and the southern hemisphere below the equator is celebrating summer solstice. That imagery for me is like, whew. And someone described it to me this way, because I'm such a noob and I'm so basic with basic science. I skipped all of it, or I didn't pay too much attention. So I have to be reminded as an adult. So they used the image of the earth tilting. And so while the northern hemisphere is experiencing the return of the light during winter solstice, the south is experiencing summer and the experience of the gradual return of darkness. They are both incredibly sacred and different. And do you know the source of that difference? It's the same light. It's the same light, experienced radically different. One of the gifts of parish ministry is it's taught me to love the entire experience of life. Not just the high or obvious moments. It's taught me to open my heart to what is unknown and unresolved and still grappling for articulation. It's taught me to be patient with that and trust that. And you know what? At this point in my journey, I treasure the darkness as much as the light. I find the darkness has a velvety, comforting feel to me. Something I relax into. And I trust it with my whole being. I must be an animal, because I appreciate the gradual change of the light. I know some people want it to be summer all the time, but I feel in my spirit with gratitude the gradual shift of the light. I feel the darkness has my back, giving me a place to rest and be fully myself without commentary. The darkness is a great love of my life. I'm held and caressed by it. The light for me is less visual. I'm not trying to improve my vision with the light. I just want to experience warmth. And light is great for that. It's nice and actually life-saving to experience warmth when we're at a crossroads. And I feel we are at a crossroads. Maybe we always are, but I really feel it now. Will we give in to the moods, thoughts, and behaviors that pervade the time we are in? Or will we open ourselves up to something imperceptible, but sure and steady? Will we welcome a new possibility, even if it only appears to us for a few seconds at a time, for a moment? Being part of this church has helped me stay open to that. It's encouraged me to look around and feel a part of the world. And do you know what I want? I want what I've received. I've woken up and realized there are people who have worked their entire life for generations to make this world warmer for me than it was for them. They've worked their whole life making a fire for someone they never met. I want to do the same. I want to, in my moments of greeting the cold black, have the courage to build a small fire, maybe one light, and hope it'll become a bonfire, a blaze, something that will warm people for generations. And you know the truth? I don't know how to do that. I sometimes need help even lighting the chalice. But I have the intention, and I have the heart, and I have the energy. And with that, I think we can do something with it. So join me as we endeavor to create a fire that can warm us when we're lonely and we feel the world is austere and cold and we only get a few seconds of warmth. And when the sun turns just right and all conditions align, like today, let us celebrate. Enjoy. Please pray with me. Spirit of love, so grateful for music and light and beautiful people. So grateful for a space of warmth and coffee and people, beautiful people who made coffee who we can support. Let us be aware of all the conditions that brought this fire to us today. Let us be grateful of the light which has lined up just perfectly for us to experience its awe. All this we pray. Amen. And please rise, embody your spirit. One of my favorite hymns, not very well known, Rising Green.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts until we meet again.
As you depart on this beautiful winter solstice, it's beautiful, isn't it? As you depart from the light into the light, please remember the one great fact. You are loved and never truly alone.
Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. It shines through our love and our tears. Don't let the light go out. It's lasted for so many years. Don't let the light go out. Let it shine through our love and our tears. Don't